The one from Florida is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and thank you, Mr. Chairman. I appreciate your support. Today, I rise in support of H.R. 1665, the Digital Applications Act, legislation that I introduced to modernize how our federal agencies process applications for communications infrastructure on federal lands. At its core, this bill is about something very simple: bringing outdated government processes into the digital age. Today, companies seeking to deploy broadband infrastructure on federal lands must often submit a Form 299 to the Department of Interior or the Department of Agriculture to obtain authorization for communication facilities such as towers or related equipment. These authorizations can take the form of easements, right-of-ways, leases, or licenses. But despite the importance of these projects, particularly when connectivity is needed more than ever, and public safety is a priority, the application process itself is far too paper-based, fragmented, and slow. In 2026, that just doesn't make sense. The Digital Applications Act fixes that by requiring the Department of Interior and Department of Agriculture to establish online portals to accept, process, and manage these forms. These portals will allow applicants to submit materials electronically, track the progress, and improve coordination across agencies. It's a straightforward reform, but one with real impact. For communities across the country, especially rural communities like the ones I represent in Florida, delays in permitting infrastructure can mean delays in access, weaker wireless coverage, and deployment that is slower of technologies that are critical to support economic growth and public safety. When we talk about closing the digital divide, it's not just about funding new networks. It's also about removing unnecessary red tape and bureaucratic barriers that slow down this progress. This bill does exactly that. By digitizing the application process, we can reduce these administrative delays, increase transparency, and provide applicants with a clear path forward when seeking a path to build infrastructure on these lands. The Digital Applications Act also reflects strong bipartisan cooperation, and I want to thank my colleague, Representative Matsui, for working so hard with me on this to advance a common sense solution. At a time when Americans expect government to operate with the same efficiency they experience in the private sector, modernizing outdated systems should be something that we can all agree on. This bill improves government operations, supports broadband, and helps ensure that our communications infrastructure keeps pace with the needs of the 21st century. I urge all of my colleagues to support the Digital Applications Act, and with that, I yield back.
Mr.